What is going on, guys? My name is Mehul and welcome to the 39th AngularJS tutorial, in which we'll be looking at some of the most common directive definition object properties. Now hang on there. There's nothing fancy about going on here. The directive definition object, or simply the object, which I prefer to say, is just this thing we are returning in this directive. So though it might look a bit of technical kind of thing, but it's just simple object which is being returned here, and it is just called a directive definition object. And so one property we have already looked at, and that is the template. Now there are a lot of properties as well in here, and I'm just gonna show you some of them right now. So first of all, what this template did is it just created or just filled a directive with some HTML, or you can say the whatever you write the text here. The next thing we can have, just like we used to have in routers, is the template URL. Now with template URL you can actually supply a file name here, whatever file or whatever you want to load, and it would just fill your directive with that file. Now currently I'm not doing this, I'm not showing you this because I'm running the script on a file protocol, and AJAX requests don't work well with the file protocol, so yeah, so that won't work pretty much. You can see that. So you can try it on your local host or on your own web server if you want to, but that would just work. So the next thing is the restrict property. Now restrict, what it does is, for example, right now if I just comment this out and I just create the template only and just fill it with hello world again, so what happens is that your directive, this directive right here, let's reload, this directive is, you can just add it as an attribute, or you can do it like my first script as an individual separate tag in HTML. So both ways would work. It would work. So you can see that it works with this tag as well, the separate tag with the directive name, and it works with any attribute as an attribute as well. So like that. So you can see that it works. So in some scenarios what you want to do is you would like to have your directive restricted to only the attribute version or the element version or the tag which I was saying. So what you can do is, inside this restrict, what you can do, you can just create E that stands for element, or A that stands for attribute. Now I must tell you guys this thing as well, that there are a couple of ways, I guess, more to just load your expression, your directives in your HTML file, and one of them includes the class one, and the other I guess was the comment one. So you can have directive and then all of your code here. Now these two are not so much popular, so I'm just not gonna cover them, because all of the things we do with the tag directive and the attribute directive would be sufficient for us for now. So yeah, so about talking about this, what we can do is, if I type restrict this to E and just a comma right here, right, and I'm loading it as an attribute, so you see that we don't get anything because I have restricted it to E. But if I change it to A and reload, you see I got the text. And if being that on A, I change it to an tag directive and reload, you see that I still get nothing because this is on the A only. And if you want to just allow it for tag or attribute, you can just type EA, and EA means element as well as attribute. But what's the difference between this and this is that with restrict EA, you cannot access your directive with the methods which I told you, the couple of methods which included the comment one and the style one. So you can't access your directive like that if you use restrict to EA. Okay, so these were some of the properties which I have discussed so far, and there are some more, and those includes, like, scope. Now scope is the one property which I would be covering in a much detail later on. So for now, for this tutorial, yeah, so that's pretty much it to begin with, and we'll be looking at some more properties real soon. So don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.